Everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Brian Rabin, PTSA president. I want to welcome you to our first meeting of the school year, our September meeting. And I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second here. Somebody let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
All right. I got it. Great. All right. Well, we have, we're going to run through some PTSA topics that we want to share with you this evening, and then we're going to turn it over to Dr. Bostic so you can meet the team. So to start with, we have some things that important topics that we want to cover, and you can see them here. I wanted to start with a quick introduction of PTSA. So of course, we're here to support the school. I am in my 7th year, and you can learn by that how important it is to support the school. I want to make sure that the school is getting all of its needs supported. As you may know, MCPS is not able to provide all the resources that schools need. And so that's where PTSAs come in, as well as other parts of this, other organizations like boosters and patrons of the arts to help support the school. And the way we support the school is through your membership. And so I would like to thank all the 234 families and 50 plus faculty that have joined PTSA for the year. It is an annual membership, and this is a small way that you can help us support the school. There's so many needs that happen across, throughout the year. So we do appreciate your support. I did put a link in the chat so that you're, if you could, go ahead and sign up for membership. And we're going to talk about the budget shortly, and you'll see why it's very important that we do have higher numbers for our memberships to be able to, return that funding to the school in so many different ways. So I'm going to turn it over right now to City of Rockville Council Member Adam Van Grack to talk about the new MCPS Facility Condition Index, FCI, so you can learn what that is. Council Member.
Thanks, Brian. So for most of you who don't know me, my name's Adam Van Grack. I actually have been in the Wootton community for over 40 years. I actually grew up just blocks away from Wootton, and I'm now still part of the Wootton family with my son going to Wootton about a quarter of a mile away from Wootton. For most people on this call probably know, Wootton was built in 1970. And since the early 90s, there's been a call for renovations and a rebuild of Wootton. And the Wootton family and community have been asking for it. It's been part of the capital improvement plan since on and off since the fiscal year 1997. And it's been a constant issue that's been discussed. One of the things that the Wootton community has been asking is a true assessment of all the buildings and all the schools in Montgomery County to show the degree to which Wootton needs an assessment. Finally, this year, the school boards decided to put together a facility compendium of the entire school system and schools. They're calling it the Facility Condition Index Reports. Wootton was one of the first schools to get it. And it's been released, and it essentially shows what the community's been saying for years. Wootton is actually one of only 3 schools in the entire county that's gotten a poor assessment for its HVAC unit. And it's the only school in the entire county that's got a poor assessment for its plumbing. I'm going to put links to the summary study and the full study in the chat, so anybody has access to it can review it. They've also put a figure, which is a facilities condition index number, to each schools they assess. Wootton's school score is among the worst in the county. Now, that being said, and I've already been talking to the school board members and other elected officials about this study, my concern is that while we may not be the worst in the county, to assess as part of the metric the number of parking spaces and the walkways around the school as the same as the plumbing and HVAC is not a fair assessment. It's the major impacts that the students feel on a daily basis in the classroom that should be most important. The reason I'm bringing this up to folks is they are going to be using these figures in this study as part of what the school board and the county council assesses for the upcoming capital improvement plan as to whether the Wooten High School is going to be included in the upcoming plan. And for those who don't know, there's a history of this. Wooten Rebuild and Rehabilitation was initially part of the fiscal year 1997 capital improvement plan. It was then taken off, and the only improvements done to Wooten were the facade and the columns facing Wooten Parkway and expansion of the front parking lot. Then it was placed on the next fiscal year improvement and set to be fully renovated by 2021. We all know that didn't happen. It was then placed on the next fiscal year capital improvement, and just about a year and a half ago, they took it off again. I've testified before the Board of Education regarding the ridiculousness of this, but now is the time that we need to advocate. It cannot take any more time. When we get to the next capital improvement plan, it's going to be too late. I'd ask everybody to send letters or emails to the county council, to the Board of Education. I'm already doing that. I've been meeting with them on a regular basis and setting up more meetings. I did get the mayor and council to have the superintendent have a separate meeting in City Hall to go over this school and a few other schools in the city of Rockville that need renovations. That being said, there's no school in the city of Rockville that has a worse condition evaluation than Wooten High School. And I don't think there's a school in the county that overall has a more concerning report than Wooten High School. If anybody needs any information as to how to contact the Board of Education members, how to contact the county council, feel free just to Google my name. You'll be able to get to my I'll put my contact in the chat as well, because I'm happy to talk to anybody, give any details. If anybody wants the history, I've been involved with the history of the renovations since I literally 1976 is when I was born and moved into the Wooten community. So I'm happy to give some of the history and the context of what's happened, but we can't let this go any further for the benefit of our students. So I'll put all that information in the chat. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. Don't want to take too much time unless there's any basic questions that I can answer now. But this study proves what we've been saying all along, and we've got to use this to our advantage to make sure we get the rebuild and the renovations.
Thank you. And so what can you do? And so we have a hearing that's coming up, the CIP Capital Improvement Program hearing coming up November 6th. I believe the date is before the Board of Education. We have lots of testimony from our students. I'm working with SGA on testimony, and we do expect, as we usually ask, that we fill the hearing room. So we're going to need your help filling the hearing room, and parents can sign up to testify. I testify every year. That's before the Board of Education. And then there's a county council CIP hearing that's in February, and we'll be putting that out there as well. So you need to be at both because the Board of Education recommends to the CIP, and the county council has pulls the purse strings.
Hey, Brian, has the chat been disabled? Because I'm not able to put something in the chat.
Give me 1 second. I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Let me just go back to the slides.
Adam, try now.
It works. Good to go. I can put the studies in there.
Okay. And while you're doing that, I'll just move on to the next really important topic for our community is the Crown High School Boundary Study. Many of you have been following that. There's upcoming community engagement sessions. There's some virtual sessions coming up on Monday, October 13th. There's a series of them. There's a Zoom link for that. And then there's some in-person sessions, Tuesday, October 14th at Seneca Valley, and Wednesday, October 15th at Queen's Orchard High School. So want to make sure that you're aware of that, and we'll put it in the newsletter so you have all the information as well, including the Zoom link. All right, I just want to let you know quickly about some upcoming events. If you were on the last meeting, we talked about the Wooten Annual College Fair. That's coming up on Monday, October 6th from 5 to 7 p.m. It'll be in the cafeteria. It's a great event. We usually get 80 to 90 colleges come out for it, and we hope you do come out and meet the college reps. It's an opportunity to talk directly with the college reps. And it's just for Wooten, so please join us for that. And then we are going to be looking for volunteers. We need parent volunteers to help out at the homecoming Loco event. That will happen right after the football game. A big event for the students. It's a packed house. Friday, October 10th at 9 p.m. in the lower gym area. We also ask for donations of food and snacks and waters. So just stay tuned for information coming out about that, and you'll see a request for volunteers, and we hope you can join us and help and chaperone. And then we have the Wooten Cluster Fall Festival. That is Fall Festival on Saturday, October 25th from 12 to 4, and that includes all 9 of the Wooten Cluster schools. And there'll be a series of really fun events. Usually the weather's good, and we look forward to that, so we hope you join us for that as well. I'm going to quickly switch my screen. And I'm going to, we want to just quickly show you the budget. We do need to vote on the budget tonight. And so, see, I'm going to make it bigger. Oh, that didn't work. Doesn't want to grab this great screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so you should be able to, didn't do it again.
It did, Brian. We saw it.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah.
I think it's
Okay, I'm just not getting me
Yeah,
on
we
mine.
see it.
You can see the
Yeah, we
budget?
see it. Yep, we can see
Okay,
it.
thank you. Great. Okay, so just a quick review of the budget. We projected $27,000 in income from our memberships. That means that we have to get at least 400 memberships. I shared with you earlier, we have 234. So we have a ways to go. We really need that number to be able to accomplish all the goals for the year. We do get some donations. We have some partners that we work with where we do get some funds from them, some funds back. We have some events. We try to get sponsors for those events so we can break even or make a little bit. So we do get some of our sponsors set up tables for those events. We have a small amount for some of our card magnets. And then I'm going to go down to some of the expenses. We have some very basic expenses that we have to pay through just operating, insurance, council dues. So we do have national, state, and in Montgomery County council dues that come out of every membership. That's part of what we have to pay, $6.25 from every membership. So that is that fee, that amount. And then we have some operational expenses like back to school night where we provide some food items. We have a few other things here like our accounting program. We pay for our Zoom account and our A to Z, which is how we handle all of our membership. And we do usually get some advertising that helps offset the cost. And then we have our really important PTSA objectives through the year. We have an event for Black History Month. We have our Holiday Helping Hands program. We have the Lunar New Year luncheon for faculty. We do a lot of staff appreciation activities. We have a budget of $9,000 to do that. And then we have our teacher and student grants. We'd like to raise that up a little bit more, but right now that's at $7,000. We support homecoming. Instead of post-prom in recent years, senior class has asked us to provide that funding to prom. So that goes towards prom. And then we have some funding for scholarships or to support financial help in the school for field trips and things like that. And then we have a line item that supports school needs, whatever those are. Whether it be some books, supplies, or something that Dr. Bostic and the administration is asking us for. And then we have another expense down here at the bottom. So total revenue, $45,000. Total expenses, the $32,000, and then we have our net income. So we actually end up with all the offsetting amounts that we get for sponsorships and things like that from our net income. We actually end up with $1,162. We do have a reserve, pretty healthy reserve as well. And we've been raising money over the years to support a bigger project for the school, and hopefully we're working with Dr. Bostic on finding out what that project will be. And so now I'm gonna go back to my screen. Before I move on, are there any questions about our budget? Okay. Lily, is there anything that you want to add about our budget? Lily is our treasurer. Okay, so at the beginning of each year, we have to have a vote on approving the budget for the PTSA. And so we do this online voting process. So we ask, when I call for the vote, you enter your vote in the chat. If your full name is not displaying in the Zoom, and I know some of you have short names or use initials, so please enter your vote with the full name. So like the example below, we do have to verify those that are voting are members, and the quorum is only 8. So now at this time, I ask if you support the budget as I went over. Please vote yes in the chat now. And as we're getting votes for yes, if anyone opposes the budget, please vote no at this time. And then our secretary, Mr. Ashish Meyer, will take the count. Okay, and then we're going to move on to our next slide here. Thank you very much, everyone, for voting. And Ashish, you're probably looking at the votes. Are you okay to click on this slide?
Yep, on it, counting.
Okay. So for our upcoming meetings, we have this week, we have every month, there's a principal virtual coffee chat that the PTSA sponsors. We're very pleased to have that, give you that opportunity to meet with Dr. Bostic. Stay tuned. There are going to be, some of them are going to be in person, some will be on Zoom. So we may change the virtual to hybrid, but stay tuned for that. But our next one coming up is on Friday, September 12th at 10 a.m. And there will be an opportunity. We'll send out a request for questions. So if you have any questions, Dr. Bostic will provide updates and answer the questions that we've received when you'll receive a message during the week, usually Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, and our next PTSA meeting is far away. It's not until Tuesday, October 21st at 7 p.m. It's always on the third Tuesday. The third Tuesday happens to be really late in the month for October. We always have guest speakers, so we hope you join us. We are planning out our calendar for the year. If you have any recommendations for speakers or for topics, please let us know. Send me an email. I'd be glad to work with you on that and try to get those topics and speakers to support us for a month. Our December meeting, we always bring our alumni back to Wooten. These are the recently graduated alumni to share with us how their first semesters went, to talk to our current students and our parents about how they selected their college and how things are going. So I hope you join us for that. That'll happen in December, and we partner with Mrs. McDonald in the Career Center to plan that. And that is my final slide. So now I am going to take down the slides.
Brian, if I can give you a count, we have 32 yeses at the moment, and no no's right now. So
That's fantastic. Thank you, everyone. All right. Well, now I'm going to go in and thank you for attending the part of the meeting that was the PTSA business. We're going to turn it over to Dr. Bostic now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Raven, and thank you, Councilmember Van Grack. Without our partnerships, we would not be successful as a school and as a community. So we're very grateful to the PTSA. And as a plug, please join. It was in our message earlier today, and also I saw it posted in the chat. So we do have a great opportunity tonight to meet the admin team and some staff members that may be present in the room. So we will start with like our counseling team. They've been doing a great job of just getting in the weeds of things and figuring things out, building relationships with our kids. We're very excited for the work that they have ahead of them. And we thank you all for trusting us to lead and serve with you. I will give most of my announcements and updates in the coffee chat. I feel like that may be the more appropriate forum for that. But what I would ask for is that as our staff is introducing themselves, take some notes, reach out via email and connect with them. It may be a great opportunity to build some unique relationships, not only for yourself, but for your students and the kids and people that we serve in our community. So we're very excited to do that work. Just a couple more things to be mindful of. This is Attendance Awareness Month. And one of the things that we're trying to do is really push the idea and thought behind that every second counts. And that's really the truth. The more that our child or the student is in school, the more that they're connecting with learning opportunities and the opportunity to grow as the future ready student that we desire them to be. So whether that's college, career, or whatever they decide to do in life. Another thing, you probably saw it in my weekly message, and I'll talk more about it on Friday. But we are now an esports school. That is amazing. That's a great opportunity. And I will give you more details, but essentially it's providing our students with the opportunity to be technology ready, AI ready, and just really ready for the things that are happening around us when you think about cybersecurity and some other things. If you're interested, reach out to me or someone on the admin team so you can learn more about that. Last but not least, you will see another announcement. The PTSA board is very aware of it, but we are a AI school. We were selected for this grant opportunity. We'll be working with a company by the name of Lumi, L-U-M-I. This company will provide us with opportunity for students to tell their story using AI. So you see more about that in our weekly newsletter. You'll hear more about that on Friday. And without further ado, tonight is not about me, but I'll get us kicked off here. So we've really been pushing RIASEC. So pop quiz. Who can tell me the meaning of RIASEC? Anyone who can tell me that, not the staff, but parents. What is RIASEC? All right, I'll do the Jeopardy music for the last piece. Dun, 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 dun. It's a prize. So whoever gets it, you win a prize. So what is the meaning?
yeah, the chat is enabled to answer.
No, it's okay. They can unmute themselves. It's totally fine. A test. That's close. What is RIASEC? Danielle Cox, you want to unmute yourself? An idea. I love it. Go ahead, Miss Cox or Dr. Cox.
It's Miss Cox.
Okay.
what am I saying? I think it's some sort of test
All right.
or like an assessment.
Oh, okay. Now you warming up. So you're going to get part of the prize. All right. So
Mhm.
contact me, send me an email. Great job. Let's take one more. Gloria, could you unmute yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you to Mrs. Vinstock. I know that is an assessment for career profile she recommended to my kids last year.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. So you and Ms. Cox, you are our winners tonight. So RIASEC is a assessment that we're using. We first introduced it this spring. It's a great opportunity for kids to understand their career college pathway by first realizing, are they realistic? So thinking about really defining what they want to do for their career or college pathway. Investigative. So do they like doing research? Do they want to work for the CIA and things like that? Artistic. Are they interested in ceramics or art, like Miss Pierce, one of our awesome teachers, or Miss Beanstalk? She likes ceramics, right? So also social, right? Do you like to have a conversation? Do you like to really express yourself through poetry, through arts, through band, and so forth? And last but not least, enterprising and conventional. So you hear more about that in our coffee chat. And now I would like to turn it over to Ms. Vermillion to introduce our awesome admin and counseling team. So admin, if you would like to go first, then counseling.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Thanks for being here. We really do appreciate it. And I know this is an opportunity, an additional opportunity from back to school night last week. I met some of you last week, and it was a pleasure. So my name is Heidi Vermillion. This is my 8th year as being an administrator. I'm new to Wooten. I just came from Sherwood, and I'm really excited to be here this year. And I will oversee the counseling department. And so I believe all my counselors are here tonight. And I will pass it off to, let's see who's next on my screen, Miss Ratty.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jillian Ratty. I am the 10th grade administrator. It is my 2nd year here at Wooten. I'm very excited to still be a Patriot and still be here with an amazing team. This is my middle son, Patrick. He wanted to join us and say hello. He said hi, Mr. Bostic, about 4 times now. But
Patrick?
I'm really excited to support 10th graders and opening doors and going through the RIASEC process and looking at what comes next with the Wooten community this year. Oh, I'll pass it off to
Mr. Bostic.
Mr. Rochelle.
Thanks so much. What's up, Patrick? Good evening. My name is David O'Shell. I am assistant principal here for 2 years now. It's my 2nd year at Wooten. I was previously an assistant principal at the middle school level. I'm a former English teacher myself. I supervise the seniors this year. Did I say that already? And supervise English and social studies. I have 2 little kids of my own. They're not camera ready right now, unfortunately. I have a 12-year-old Natasha and 8-year-old son, Alistair. And love it here at Wooten. This really is a great school. I'm really looking forward to this year. And I think I'm supposed to pass it to somebody. So how about Ms. Sayum?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ms. Sayum, and I am the 9th grade administrator, class of 2029. I'm excited to be joining the team new to Wooten this year as an assistant principal. This is my 4th year as an administrator. I have been in education for over 20 years, starting off as a math teacher. And so I am looking forward to supporting the math department, but I also support our special ed department. There we go. And I'm excited to be here to support your students. And please let me know how I can help your ninth graders transition to high school, but also support our special ed students and students receiving special ed services, excuse me. And I look forward to meeting some new parents and getting to know the Wooten community. And I'm so excited to be here, and I'm coming from Magruder High School, so I'm excited. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to working with you all this evening.
All right, well, thank you. That was the admin team. You probably met most of us again back to school night. So I'm going to start off by introducing our new resource counselor. Again, most of you know from a lot of our communication, we have 6 new counselors this year. Okay, so we really do appreciate your flexibility and understanding as they are transitioning into Wooten and getting to know your kids and the scheduling and all that kind of stuff that's been going on. But we're going to start off with Dr. Ponce. I believe I saw her here.
Yes, good evening. I don't know if I'm able to share the slides that I have, if I can throw them in the chat and then the families can look at it. It's just a little more personal information. Don't know if that feature is allowed.
How about send them to me if you can, and I will make sure Dr. Bostic can post them, okay? Get them up there.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, everyone. My name is Maureen Ponce, Dr. Ponce, Doctora Ponce in Español. I'm super blessed to be the resource counselor at Wooten. Prior to coming at Wooten, I stepped away last year, and I was at Thomas Edison High School for a year and was working there as a school counselor when I was called by some folks, quite a few people, and they encouraged me to apply for the Wooten position and come back into resource counseling. And so prior to Edison High School, I was at Northwood High School there as the resource counselor for 6 years. And it was a phenomenal 6 years, and I'll tell you why it was phenomenal. First of all, I love school counseling. I tell folks that I could talk your ear off about the profession of school counseling. But I did a pretty amazing team with the school counselors there. We were able to take our program and really peel back the layers and use a lot of data so that we were able to realign that program. And we became the first school counseling program in MCPS history to earn this title called RAMP, and it stands for Recognized ASCA Model Program. And that meant that our program was aligned with all national standards for school counseling programs. And that's a pretty prestigious, I call that like the Super Bowl or the NFL, the World Cup of school counseling. And so that is the energy, that's the love, that's the commitment, that's the compassion that I bring to this work. I've been a school counselor for over 20 years. I've worked both at the middle and the high school level. I'm also super involved in the profession. I am super involved at the state level. I just finished my 2-year term as the president of our state association. I also do a lot of volunteer work at the national level. I routinely present in our national conference every summer. I'm involved in a variety of committees. I sit on the National Committee for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And so I work on training counselors during our conference in that area. How to support students with 504 plans, how to support students with disabilities. So my hands are in a lot of areas because I am committed to the profession. And I always tell folks, you never stop learning. The moment you think you know it all, that's a dangerous place to be. We're always learning, we're always reflecting, we're always growing. And so that all of that passion and knowledge I bring into this new space that I'm occupying this year as the resource counselor at Wooten High School. Aside from that, people ask, what do you do in your free time? I spend a lot of time doing school counseling stuff, but also I do other things. My big thing is nature. I love to be outdoors. If you ever come to my office, I have a bookshelf that is all related to the beach because that is like my favorite place to be and to reset myself. I love spending time with my family as well, with my spouse. And I have 4 children. Well, they're not really kids, 3 adults, young adults, and my youngest is a senior in high school. So I get all of it as well from a parent perspective. So I think that's a strength that I also bring because I also understand we send our kids to school. We love our kids and we want our kids to be loved at school too. And so that's our job, is to support your kids in all areas. So they're thriving and they're able to achieve the goals that they set for themselves. So I'm going to now introduce the team. So we're going to kind of go in order of the alphabet that they are assigned to. So Miss Rivas will go first. And she has the top of the alphabet, and she'll share a little bit about herself, and then she'll pass it over. You can skip over me and then go to the next person.
Hi guys, my name is Alana Rivas. And just like Dr. Ponce said, I have the beginning of the alphabet, last names A through CAO. And a little tidbit about me is I'm coming in as a brand new school counselor. I just recently earned my master's in school counseling over at Loyola University of Maryland. And prior to that, I actually was working as a paraeducator within special ed, as a one-on-one, both as in the middle school and high school level. And so I'm super excited to have landed at the high school level. I was a student athlete all growing up, so that's something I definitely still love to be involved with. Coaching women's lacrosse was my sport. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. This is like year 5 for me living in Maryland. And I've been working in Montgomery County for a few years now. Prior to this, as a para, I was working at Poolsville High School, and have a handful of experiences at a few other high schools around the county. So I'm super excited to become a Patriot. Passing this off now on to Miss Johnson.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Tiffany Johnson, and I am obviously new to Wooten and new to the state of Maryland. I am coming from the coast of North Carolina. I have been working in the profession for 5 years now, but overall working in the public sector for about 12 years now. I have 3 beautiful children that I absolutely love and adore. 2 have already graduated from high school. I enjoy baking and cooking, and I'm really excited to be a Patriot. And I am really also very excited to work with all your students as well as team up and work with you as well. Please let me know if you ever need anything. I'm always here to support you guys and also very much so to support your students. And I think I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Heflin.
Well, I want to say good evening, everyone. I am Mr. Heflin. I hope that you are doing well tonight. For starters, I'm excited to join Wooten as a school counselor. I've been a school counselor for a handful of years in the county, both at the middle school and high school level. I have students GUA through KUS across all grade levels. A little bit more about me. I grew up in the Midwest, the great state of Ohio, OHIO, a town called Dayton, Ohio, Southwest, in the Southwest part of the state. My educational background is in counseling and human development. For about 10 years, I started off in special education, but I've been able to support students' academic and career success, as well as their personal well-being. And I'm happy to continue that work here at Wooten. At my core, I value being positive, thinking positive, and, I value achieving goals through being creative. I believe that those qualities really help to build relationships, with students, parents, and other staff. Outside of work, I enjoy music. I played in the band in high school. I still play a little bit of bass guitar. But I enjoy watching movies. I can be a real jokester, with my friends and family. And I follow college and pro sports a ton. I do have a deep interest in hope and faith, Christianity, as well as nature and animals. I'm sort of fascinated by, the adaptations that animals have to survive. And sometimes I can bring up these interests in ways that apply, with students to really build genuine connections with them and really show my human side. One of my favorite quotes is, "However dark the cloud, there's always a silver lining." And I do try to, live by that perspective, to help others sort of find positivity and pathways, even in, the most difficult times. And overall, again, I'm happy to be a part of this Wooten team. And, I'm looking forward to working with you all and supporting your students and our school community. and I want to thank you. And I'm going to pass it to Mrs. Snyder.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sherry Snyder. I am so excited to be at Wooten. I have been in Montgomery County now for over 20 years. This is my first year as a high school counselor, but I have a variety of experiences all throughout the county, and I'm coming from a middle school at this point. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. Go Steelers if there's any Steeler fans out there. But I originally started off in the county as a teacher and got my master's in school counseling at Hopkins and have been a counselor ever since then. As Dr. Ponte said, and I think Ms. Johnson, I do have a teenage daughter. She's starting 9th grade as well. So I have the same experiences as a lot of you do going through the high school experience. And I use that a lot to relate to the kids and whenever I meet with them. Just a couple things about me. One of my core values is to really just relate to kids and to spend time and get to know them, to spend time learning about what they're interested in, to talk about their goals and their objectives and what they want to do as they finish high school and move on to whatever they decide to do afterwards. Spending a lot of time getting to know them at this point. And if you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. I try to make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. Some other things about me. I love to be outside. I like to go to the gym. I spend a lot of time driving my daughter around to all her various activities and just with my friends and family. You could see from some of my pictures, my daughter, our friends, our family, and some things. One of my favorite quote, I just said, it takes courage to be kind. I've tried my best, and I really try to instill in others just the importance of the important thing is to be kind. Sometimes it's really hard, but to take a deep breath and just say, I can do this. I think it's important to take that kindness as far as we can. Please, if you need anything, reach out. I am the middle of the alphabet. I have the KUs through the MUs. So I hope to work with you soon. Thanks. And I'm passing it off to Miss Beanstalk.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daniela Benstock, she, her pronouns. This will be my 5th year at Wooten. Wooten is my first school counseling role. I have a master's in counseling from University of Maryland, College Park, but I'm also a career changer. So before I was a counselor, I worked in national parks. I did environmental science education and was a seasonal park ranger. And that is one of my favorite things to talk to students about is careers that that I didn't hear about in high school, particularly careers that allow you to be outside, out of buildings, out in nature. There's my dog. That's all you need to know.
All right, so next in the alphabet are the last names RYT through TO. That is our position that currently we are in process of hiring. We're hoping to interview this week and have a candidate selected. And in the meantime, Ms. Vermillion, which is our assistant principal that supervises school counseling, is kind of sitting in as the go-to counselor. And we are all right behind her supporting students, staff, parents with questions or concerns. So please know that your child is taken care of if their last name falls there. And then finally, we have Mr. Kurtz, who was unable to join us this evening due to a prior commitment. He's also one of our veteran school counselors for Wooten with Miss B, and he has the last name TR through Z. He's an avid golf person, and he is a softball dad. So I'm sure he's involved with that this evening with those commitments that he has with his children. Again, we are here for you. We are part of Team Healing. We are here to support students. We are here to support families and staff. We are here to take care of your kids and make sure that their 4-year experience at Wooten is a positive, enriching, growing, thriving experience, and that we do our part to help them be prepared for whatever it is that they decide to do after high school. And then now I will turn it over back to, I believe, Dr. Bostic.
Woohoo, man, I feel honored and blessed to be a part of your team. I love those profiles. I'm gonna have to coin me one of those. So thank you, counseling. Thank you to our awesome counselors. Let's give it up for them. We really appreciate you. Thank you for the awesome work that you're doing and the attention that you're putting in for our kids. It really matters. I see a hand raised. So Miss, we have some other staff members. Can we wait to introduce some of the other staff members? Then we'll come back to questions if that's okay. So I do see like Miss McDonald, Dr. Erkley, and some other people here. If you just can unmute yourself, tell them why you're flying with the Wooten Cluster Airlines. They'll be helpful. Thank you. Ms. McDonald?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer McDonald. I am the Wooten College and Career Navigator, just a fancy way of saying that I'm the advisor. I have been here at Wooten. This is my 3rd school year. Before that, I was at Clarksburg High School. And before that, a lot of you might know me because I was at Dufeef Elementary, one of our cluster schools. Like a lot of the counseling staff, my background is in special education. I think that brings, I think it's a great thing that our staff has that not a lot of other schools have, that we have so many of us who have experience working very deeply in special ed. So that is a pet area of interest of mine. And so I have been involved in this work for about 5 years now, probably. I am also a Wooten parent. So I think that is something that makes my ability to relate not only to your students, but to you as parents. I have a daughter who graduated from Wooten in the class of 2024. She's currently in her 2nd year at the University of Maryland. I have a senior, so any senior parents, I am going through it with you. It's great, but you know, it's one of those situations where the other kids will listen to me and maybe my own son will not. And any parents who are brand new to Wooten with 9th graders, I am there with you as well. My 3rd child is in 9th grade this year. So I look forward to working with all of your students and all of you. Right now, I am really in it with 12th graders, but eventually I will trickle through all the other grades as well.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McDonald. Thank you for all the awesome work you're doing. I know you had some colleges stop by last week, so we appreciate that. Dr. Erkley.
Hi, my name is Susan Eckerly. I'm a band director. I've known since I was in 7th grade, the 3rd day of band, that I wanted to be a band director. And here I am 30 years later, still going. I've been at Wooten for 8 years, and I will tell, I'm an older person, so our son is 26 years old, but I would choose to send our son to Wooten High School over every high school that I've taught at, which has been other schools in Maryland, Hawaii, Mississippi. It is a strong school. We are so fortunate to work, and you're so fortunate to have your children attend this school. Thank you.
Wow, I really appreciate that, Dr. Erkley. And if you did not know and you did not see the message, we're ranked number 3 as high schools in the state of Maryland. We're shooting for the moon, and if we miss, we'll be amongst the stars, but we're going for number 1 this year. So it's a shameless plug, but I hope everyone's on board with that. Any other staff members here that would like to share out your name, your passion, something about yourself? All right, going once, going twice. All right, and I would advocate for them if they did not want to unmute themselves. We have the best staff on earth. Very excited to work with the staff members here. And I do see we have some questions. So just a quick time check. It's now 7:53. We do have to make a transition for our senior parent night at 8 p.m. So we'll take about 2 to 3 questions if that's okay, so we can have a break for the people that are presenting. First question, please.
Is that me, Dr. Bostic?
Yes, ma'am. Great to hear you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So nice to meet all of the counselor. I'm so happy we do have the full house of the counselor here. Um, I have two questions. First, I noticed that the chat function is disabled. Is that on purpose? Because I was thinking to write a chat, put a chat instead of speak. But I noticed the chat function is disabled. Is that on purpose or just by accident?
We was just trying to give us an opportunity to have a conversation. So if you would like to ask a question, if
Oh,
you would
okay.
like to.
Okay. I just want, in case you guys didn't know, that was disabled. So, great. Then my question is, definitely, we are excited to have all the counselors on board, but my only concern is with all the new counselors, and it seems like most of the counselors did not have experience within the MCPS school district. Also, I would love to hear what the department as a whole or the school as the whole organization, how to support all the students, because Wooten community, Wooten school, it is a high performance school. So it has their own unique strengths and weakness. So I would love to hear someone from the leadership and let all the parents know how we can support as a counselors to support the students and parents throughout this journey of the high school, which is very important, I think.
Yeah, and it takes a partnership, and I'll shift Dr. Ponce if you want to chime in, or Ms. Vermillion. Our counseling team is very intentional, right? You heard the opportunities or the experience about special education. So they're bringing some unique things to the table that really makes us diverse, unique, and really we can serve our students at a higher level. When you think about a special educator in the classroom, me, myself, as a former math teacher, I had a great opportunity to teach with special educators. And one of the things they really were very thoughtful about is all kids, right? So it wasn't just the 32 in their classroom. So, when I see our counseling team, it's not about just the alphabet of students that they're supporting. But I could tell you from being in the building, they're building unique relationships with all kids. And not only with all kids, but they're building relationships amongst themselves. And that's very important when you think about team. Out of all the great teams on planet, I think the admin team was talking about music, the Beatles, the Temptations, and the list goes on of all these great teams that performed at a high level. You have people that bring things to the team that makes them great. And I'm very proud to say that that's our counseling team. So I would say, don't worry. If you have unique questions, reach out to the counselors individually. Ask your question. That'll be very helpful because now you're building that connection and relationship with each respective counselor. Okay, Dr. Ponce?
Yes, yes. Thank you for your question. I think what's unique about school counseling, there's kind of two pieces to it. One is the individual work that the counselor does with your child, right? That's part of our work, but also it's the holistic work because we all work together to implement a comprehensive program that impacts every student in the building. And so we have a curriculum that we follow. We follow the ASCA national model, which is our national association, and MCPS's expectation of school counseling programs is that we're implementing programs that align with the national model. And so that means that we are here to improve student outcomes, academic outcomes, attendance outcomes, behavior outcomes, and we support students in 3 developmental areas, both their academic development, their social emotional development, and their career development. So we do that individually with the relationships we build with students, but we also do it comprehensively in the services that we provide. As an example, I don't know if you know that this month, September, is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And so what did we as a department do to bring awareness to that? We, this week, elevated, and we have a resource table by the front of the school where students have been coming every day, and they grab all the resources I put for the day out. And so that's thinking holistically, right? So we're not just being reactive, and somebody calls me, there's an issue, I have an email. There's an issue that's super important in our work, but we're also being proactive. And we're thinking about holistically, what are the things that students need to thrive in high school? And how is our program being strategic in the services that we offer? And so we do that individually, but we also do it holistically in the program that we offer. And so all I can tell you is I promise you that the sum of the parts is here to support students, both individually and also as a program.
Thank you, thank you. That's very, very nice to hear. If you don't mind, I don't see anybody else raise their hand. I do have a follow-up questions. So what's your opinion? What's it about the school counselor, whether the school counselor should be advise students throughout the college application? Because I heard the rumor that the new counselor vision did not see this, the counselor did not see that advising students throughout their college application is the counselor's job. So is that just the rumor or that's the fact?
All right, so let me take this one, please. So I know we have our PTSA board meeting. So for the sake of time, if you don't mind, can we connect next week? And then I also want to iterate that we're not in the rumor business, and I say that respectfully. There are a lot of rumors that are out there about Wooten High School, but I want to go back to what I stated earlier. I'm very proud to be the principal of Wooten High School. We're ranked number 3 in the state. We're ranked number 119 nationally. So we have some great things that are happening. Next week in our PTSA board meeting, let's connect. Let's dive a little deeper into your question, because there's some things that we want to discuss first as a PTSA board before we are posting YouTube videos as a whole group. All right, so I hope that's fair, because I do see another hand, and then I want to shift us to senior night. Okay.
One other hand up. I'm sorry to my name is Matthias Smilovich. How are you, doctor? Wanted to ask how come I mean, you said it, we've been rated number 3. There wasn't a lot wrong in our previous team, I would say. What happened? Could you give us a little background? Just concerned parent here. Thank you.
So thank you again for your question. I want to keep us focused on meeting the staff and the awesome things that are about to be discussed about our seniors. Can you please send me an email? I've been talking to some parents individually. Some parents came in over the summer. I would love to have a conversation with you. I'm still getting my office together. We'll have some tea together. I would love to talk to you about your question. A lot of this is dealing with personnel.
Thank you.
And it's not fair to discuss personnel right now. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. All right. With that being said, I do want to give us a brief moment for a break. We do have our senior night that's coming up. Woohoo. I get to officially pass the torch to Mr. O'Shell. So if you want, we could take, Mr. Raven, if that's okay, a 1-minute break, and then we'll come back for senior night.
Absolutely. All right, everyone, take a break for a minute and then we'll get started with senior night.